Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend DG Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luke of Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast.
Diggity dank.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Nightwing News. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, it is.
Hi, I'm Kristen. And Nightwing Cat.
And this is a little something different because, I mean, the only things we're covering tonight are pretty recent. I mean, the last issue just came out a few days ago. Robin and Batman, the 3-issue series. And thanks to the magic of recording ahead, other stuff, it's like, yes, this is going to go up tomorrow. So, yeah, guys, when you're listening to this, well, we just recorded this last night. So, it's fresh.
We're so timely.
Fresh.
Fresh, never frozen. Unlike Captain America.
Oh! All right, so I was trying to think. I don't think we have any Nightwing news.
Well, the new issue comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow / Wednesday.
You guys will hear that in a few episodes. But what was I gonna say? Oh, I finished. I'm up to date on Young Justice.
Oh, the show.
Yeah, but no Nightwing. So.
Well, it's up to episode 13, right?
I think it's was it their break?
It's like Break My Heart or whatever is the last one, right?
I think so. Yeah, it was all the magic stuff. Hold on, let me scroll back on my app I watch everything on. Oh, here I was up to season 4, episode 13. Yeah, Break My Heart, but it, of course it's backwards, so I'm not even gonna attempt that.
That's magic.
Because Satana, yeah.
I wish magic was that easy. Just saying stuff backwards.
Gonna have the training. Come on.
How you know I haven't been training, Phil?
Oh, that's true.
You don't know what I do in my free time.
You don't know. But yes,
I'm teaching a class about European magic and witchcraft starting tomorrow. So
yes. Oh my! But the new issue comes out tomorrow. We heard that in about 3 episodes, I think, kids. But then in February, I believe that's when we get the crossover with Superman, Son of Kal-El, I believe so.
Yep. And then the next month in Nightwing, he hangs out with Wally.
Oh yeah. In the March one, I think, yeah. Oh, so we'll have to figure out if we want to do both parts of the Superman crossover in one episode, or if we want to do the one when it comes out. If they both don't come out the same week, if we want to split them up.
I guess we'll see when February hits. But yeah, I don't think they come out the same week. I think it's one and then the other.
Probably not. I don't think they usually do. So hopefully
they gotta keep you hanging.
I was gonna say they only make us wait a week or two. I don't want to wait like a whole. Hopefully it's not one's at the beginning of the month and one's not at the end of the month. Hopefully. Come on, kids.
I don't think so, but let me see.
But yeah, Tom Taylor's all over the place. I mean, yeah, he's writing Nightwing, he's writing Superman, Son of Kal-El. What else is he doing at DC? But I know he's like writing like at least one Marvel miniseries right now. So I mean, he's everywhere.
Okay, so the 15th is when the Nightwing one comes out.
Okay.
15th of February.
I'm trying to remember. The Superman one might be issue, was it 8 or 9? Can't remember.
It is issue 9. And that comes out March 8th. Oh!
Oh my!
So it actually comes out the next month. I guess his book
Oh,
must be a beginning of the month book.
yeah, maybe.
So it's a couple weeks. March 8th. That's a good day.
Okay. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, because number 8 comes out on February 8th. So yeah, it is the beginning of the month book. Man. Oh, I guess not too. Well, I mean, it might only be
Can
like
do it, Phil.
might only be like 2 weeks or so because what Nightwing's at the big middle of the month. Then it's
February is a short month.
I guess we'll live.
You're gonna have to. You don't have a choice.
And then by the time that the Superman issue comes
It's
out,
3 weeks. It's 3 weeks.
oh man.
You can do it.
So is Wally just? Do you know is Wally just appearing in the Nightwing book, or are we doing another crossover? Because Wally's the Flash in the Flash book right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it ties in with that Earth 3 War for Earth 3 or not.
Well, I'll let you know because
'Cause I know that Titans books tie in with that, and I think there's a lot of that going on in the Flash. So we'll find out.
All right, give me more homework. Yeah, I'll do my research on the Earth 3 stuff and see if
Is Earth 3 the bad Earth? Isn't that where Owlman and stuff's from?
yeah, that's the crime syndicate. Yeah, it's like the evil versions of the Justice League. Yeah. Trying to remember if they've ever done like an evil version of Dick Grayson there.
Well, yeah, he was the one that died. And that's why Owlman came and wanted to steal our Dick Grayson.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Because his talon was dead. And he was so sad.
Yeah, they've rebooted that thing so many times. I think Earth 3 and Legion of Superheroes suffer the most every time they do a crisis or something where they reboot stuff because they get like rebooted the hardest.
Well, I guess they're villains, so too bad for them.
All right. So should we get to these issues?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, are we fine? Are we both have floppy copies?
So I have bought them in both floppy and digital, but I only have the first one in floppy. I haven't gotten the other ones shipped to me yet.
Okay.
I'm always kind of behind on that. Well, because I don't want to pay too often for shipping, so I only ship it like once a month. But actually, it's probably gonna be 2 months. I didn't get a shipment in December because I was gone so much.
Well, yeah, that's like Will, who I do the Green Lantern podcast with. He gets like all his books like from online, and they just send him like one box at the end of every month. So
yeah.
All right.
I mean, if I want, I can go to a store, but it's like there was this store I was going to before I moved, and I'm recognizing that store.
Yeah, it's kind of nice for me because my store's like on my way home from work. So
yeah, I mean, there is a store that's like probably a mile from my house, but I haven't made the trip. I don't know. I can't. I like the other guy. I like his store. It even has such a catchy name. It's Alter Ego. Like, come on, that's so good.
But yeah, no, this is written by Jeff Lemire, who's pretty good DC writer. Art and colors by Dustin the Guyan, who we've seen before.
No, I think it's Nguyen. It's taken me a long time. Yes.
Like I don't worry. No offense, kids. I mispronounce every last name, but I mean, just I love the art in this. It looks like everything's painted, which I don't know if that it actually was painted or if that's like a digital thing you can do, but yeah, it looks.
I don't know, but that's definitely Nguyen's style. I have to say, overall, my impression. I mean, obviously, I liked it, but because it was Dustin Nguyen, and for me, he's particularly famous for Little Gotham. This was a little bit darker in some places than I was expecting. I was like, oh, that was kind of intense. In some places. So.
Well, I'm trying to remember. I think he might have did some of those. Was it Detective? I think he did. I thought he had, or no, maybe it might have been Streets of Gotham. I think he did some of those issues we covered when Dick was Batman. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I mean, it's not like Little Gotham's the only thing he's done.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
just
no.
that's what pops into my head first because that's obviously my jam. That is like the kind of comics I like. And so yeah, so I guess I was hoping thinking Little Gotham, there would be, I mean, it was heartwarming by the end. It's just Bruce was still a little bit of a dick in issues 1 and 2, more so than I was hoping he would be.
Yeah, because they showed Dick fighting crime in the beginning of this. Not in a Robin costume yet, just like in a mask and like a black suit, and Bruce telling him to abort the mission, but he doesn't. And then, of course, Bruce gets out of the Batmobile all mad. I told you to abort the mission.
Right, yes.
And Dick, I told you I had it under control. And some guy's coming up behind him, so Bruce just like wings the guy in the head with the batarang. Yeah, he's like, you're not seeing the whole picture. Tunnel vision, myopic. No, pick up that earpiece and get in the damn car. And they basically ride home in silence because when Dick tries to talk, Bruce is like, don't. And then they get home and Alfred's like, how'd it go? And Dick's like, it was fine. I didn't need his help.
Batman's like, you almost got yourself killed.
You're not ready. I am ready.
And then Bruce is Alfred, if I could just interject, you can't stay out of it, Alfred. I was like, geez.
Yeah, because they're arguing because Bruce is like, you need more training.
Like you said, I can be your partner. You're having a tantrum like a child. Don't say it, Alfred. You're going to say, but he is a child. Alfred, yes. And then you would say, the child died with his parents. He needs to be a soldier or some such.
But yeah, Bruce, this only works if he has the armor he needs to survive out there. I won't put a child in danger. He needs to become something more.
You knew that. Alfred says, all I knew is we were going to help a little boy who lost his family. You decided the rest without my opinion, as usual. Yeah, it's like, I get. It's like I get what Bruce is saying, but it's like he doesn't have to be such a dick about it.
I know. I mean, but yeah, Bruce is kind of takes it to the extreme, but it's basically like, he's trying to drill into Dick's head. He's like, this isn't a game. Don't ever take this anything than brutally serious, because you could die.
Right. But it's like, you don't have to be
But yeah, Bruce is like, Alfred's like, he's like, can you show him a little leniency? And, Bruce is like, leniency means bringing home a dead child. And Alfred's like, oh, I know, you'd prefer to bring home a dead soldier, right?
Right. And it's like, Bruce makes sense. Yes, you need to be very careful because you can die and stuff. But he doesn't have to be such an a-hole about it. I mean, they always... I don't know. This was kind of the stuff. I kind of should have known to expect it, but I sort of prefer earlier versions where Bruce is not quite such a douche already when Dick is little. Because for me, in maybe an a la Grant Morrison-esque kind of way, I think kind of the best way to meld all of Batman's extensive history is for Bruce to have gotten kind of darker and more intense over time, and then to have kind of backed away from that. That like he's like pretty good with Dick when Dick is a little kid. Because I always think of Bruce as someone who does better with younger children, because younger children, it's easier to be like, because I said so.
Yeah.
And then as Dick became more of a teenager, he got a little harsher, and then of course he fired him, and then he got really dark when Jason died, and then he started to get better when he got Tim. And I think that having Tim not strictly like be his partner and not his son right away kind of helped, and Dick was back more, and that he never is going to get back to as light as he was when he first.
Oh no.
took Dick in, but he's kind of gone like dark and then a little gotten better.
But yeah, with with a kid Dick's age, you can't just say, do what I say and don't question me. Bruce needs to come down a little bit and just be like, you know what, why I ride you so hard? He's like, when I was training, how many like bullets I took or like, getting stabbed or beaten. He's like, yeah, he needs to tell him all this stuff and be like, hey, this is why, you have to keep your eyes open and have eyes in the back of your head. And
right, yeah, he just tried. I mean, I think it's because Batman's a control freak, and so he frequently I say it. They miss the part where he doesn't realize not everybody is like him, and he's kind of just like jumping over to be sort of totally authoritarian and not explaining along the way. This is why you need to do that. I mean, I guess part of it is he's not a great teacher. Like he becomes over time, but he's not diversifying his teaching to meet his learners' different learning styles. And he is he's like he gets better at it, of course, but
again, at a certain age, he lost his parents, so and then two, everyone he probably went to for training, like Bruce probably treated Bruce like this, but it's like, they weren't, they weren't your.
But you weren't a child.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Also, the thing is, whether you're a child or not, you're a different person, and obviously that's part of what Alfred's getting at is, hey, Bruce, Dick is a different person from you, and he's been trained. I mean, his training for stuff is not. I mean, he's been doing that his whole life. But his parents had a different style to you. And if you could be, a little more positive reinforcement, that would be beneficial.
Well, and like you said, I mean, as a parent, it's like, you can't, the kid this age, you can't say, no, do as I say and don't question me. It's like, you have to explain, that's what we've been saying. It's like, you have to explain, like, buddy, this is why we have to do this. This is why we have to do this. And give them the details.
Right. Plus, that's a better way to teach anyway. I mean, if you want your kids to grow up to understand, like, don't steal or whatever, you need to try to explain to them, this is why stealing is wrong, not just like, don't steal because I'll lock you in your room if you do. Well, like, that doesn't teach you why you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, if you included Dick in more of the planning, I think Dick would be more willing to like take. It's like, okay, well, Bruce has been doing this longer, so.
Right, and just explaining it more because, I mean, you should be thinking long term. Well, he even says, we're not getting any younger kind of thing when he goes on. So if you want this kid to keep doing it, after he's not a child anymore, you got to make sure you're explaining everything to him because otherwise, it's not enough to just memorize your basic multiplication facts. You need to understand what multiplication is. So you can't just be like, just always do what I say. Well, what if you're not around?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Yeah, Dick's at school, all tired, of course.
Yeah, but I like how they show the difference, with his parents.
Yeah, just learning like the trapeze act with his parents and then just like learning fighting with Bruce in the cave.
Yeah, and how he's like, I'm not alone anymore. And they show him with Bruce, they're meditating, but then you see him with his parents and they're like talking and laughing and having ice cream.
Yeah, because he says when he's alone for too long, the ghosts come. Yeah. He's like, God, this is getting depressing. I sound too much like him.
Yep. Yeah, so then there were some other things. Like, overall, I liked it, obviously, but there were a couple things that I was kind of like, this seems different. So, I mean, I'm sure it was in there to be kind of like, what do they call those, Easter eggs or whatever for the fans, but to be like, maybe I should be Nighthawk or Nightwing or something, but it's like, didn't he pick Nightwing because Clark told him? So it's like, he shouldn't have that idea yet.
Again, it depends. There are so many different versions of this story. It's like, it depends who's writing it and what continuity,
Right, yeah.
I mean, I like the thing with, it was a Kryptonian thing and stuff, but two, I kind of like that, that Dick came up with it by himself too, so that when he takes the identity of Nightwing, that's his thing, you know.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, both work. Okay, I didn't know that had kind of been a thing on its own, as well.
But yeah, then
oh my god! Also, I just noticed that is really funny. How he's got that S in his notebook. That is like so 90s. I remember us doing that kind of S with like the 3 lines and then you connect it and this sort of thing when I was. So I wonder if the writers are like around our age or something.
He's the writer or the artist, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Alfred picks him up from school.
Also, I'm surprised Alfred let him sit in the front seat though, because Dick's not 13, and aren't you supposed to be 13 before you can ride in the front seat because of the airbags?
Yeah. But yeah, he's basically talking about him being grounded, and he's like, "Well, how are you sure?" And he's just playing mind games. No, he had me destroy the costume today, and Dick's like, "What? That was mine."
Then we see Dick has sewing and craft skills of his own because he goes upstairs, and I don't know where he got that stuff, but
because Alfred's like, maybe it's better you just concentrate on schoolwork, and maybe in a few years. And Dick's like, no, that's not why I agreed to come here.
Yep. Then he shows it. He's working on it.
And then we see Bruce swinging in the city. He's thinking he was all worried about the boy, that he missed something.
Yeah. And then he notices, why are they robbing meat trucks? That's weird.
Yep. So yeah, he told Gordon to let them walk. Now he's following them. And I don't like where this is going. They weren't stealing meat. They were stealing food. So I guess they went down in the sewer.
We see Dick's followed him.
And then Dick shows up. He's like, I've been following for the last half hour. He didn't see me.
And then boom, look who it is. Killer Croc.
Yep.
And he seems really mad about Dick's costume.
Yep. Because he finds Dick first. They like throwing him around. Mm-hmm. You know me? You know who I am? That's when Bruce shows up. Get away from him, Waylon. So they fight. But they's like, should have known he was with you. But yeah, Croc punches him in the ribs, and Dick asks him if he's all right. He's like, what are you doing? Then after Croc leaves, Dick's like, aren't we going after him? And Bruce is like, at least 2 broken ribs. I have at least 2 broken ribs, and you're done. Let's go.
What did Bruce do to Croc's face? Like some kind of flare or something in it? Like what is it that makes it all red?
I don't know. Yeah, it might be a flare. So something. Looked like something that burns.
Unless Dick threw it.
Yeah, then they get home and Bruce is all mad. He's like asking Alfred, how'd he slip past you, especially wearing that? Because he made his new suit. Yep. And Dick says, I thought it was a test. I thought you wanted me to show determination to prove I was ready.
And then another example of how, like, Bruce, think about your words. It's like, that outfit's ridiculous. And Dick's like, it's not ridiculous. It was my family's. It's like, Bruce, jeez, why would you?
I know. We said, like, you can't go into combat like that because, Dick said that it was my family. Says, like, I know it was. That's why I made you this. And he pulls out a new suit. But he says, Bruce is like, yeah, I was going to give it to you next week. I was going to let you join me. But it's it's a Robin suit. Yeah, Dick's like, well, if you know about Robin, then you read my journal. And Bruce, we can't have any secrets. It was mine. That was all I had. That was just mine. And Bruce is like, I thought that's what you wanted. It was a gift.
Like, yeah, but dude, you don't go reading other people's journals. Jeez.
Oh, yeah. Especially not your kids, yeah. So Dick's thinking about what? I think I was wrong about everything, about who I am, about what I could be.
Thought it would be a quest, but it's like a nightmare.
Yeah, but then we see Croc going to the abandoned circus because I guess he was there back in the day with the Flying Graysons.
Yep.
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I don't know if this is in continuity or not. So I mean, by the time we get to the end of this, so we're saying Croc knows who Dick is.
Yeah, well, clearly he does.
Yeah. And again, that's always a slippery slope because then it's always a hop, skip, and a jump to Bruce Wayne as Batman too.
Yeah, I mean, I think they tried to cover that up with like, oh, I can't tell you. Well, we'll get to that. But yeah, then you see how Dick's getting really sad. Was like, darkness feels like a weight. It's pulling me down. It's hard to see my way out. I don't know if I want to get out. Maybe this is all I deserve. Sad.
But then we get to issue 2.
Yeah.
Which I think is my favorite cover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure because haven't they kind of hinted before, or maybe it's just been in fan fiction. I've seen it, but it would make sense that like Killer Croc and Dick Grayson might have crossed paths with the circus thing. But
Well, yeah, I mean, in certain versions, like I mean, Dick at least meets Croc. Remember, I mean, remember what in Prodigal when he first became Batman? At that point, he had never met Croc. So when he fights Croc as Batman, he's like, I never fought this guy before.
right, yeah, well, because Killer Croc's actually kind of a late
Yeah.
addition. I mean, I think he didn't get invented until Jason 1.0.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yes. Last night Lilith and I talked to Jerry Conway, who created Killer Croc and Jason Todd, which you guys can listen to now. But yeah, no, it's yeah, no. Oh, that's the other thing I was gonna tell you. Yeah, we talked to Jerry Conway, and I was like, oh, what did they just come to you and say? Hey, we want to keep Dick Grayson in Titans, and because he was writing Batman at the time, and did they tell you, hey, we want to keep Dick in Titans, so you have to create a new Robin? And I guess he said they gave him a choice. They said, yeah, either create a new Robin or just like have no Robin. And I guess he said he liked that Batman and Robin dynamic, so that's why he created Jason.
That kind of surprised me. I'm surprised they would have been like, no Robin, because I would have thought they'd be like, nope, we need to keep that intellectual property going.
Yeah, because I mean, he even said he's like they wanted him to keep evolving and Dick Grayson to keep evolving. So yeah, they couldn't have him be like coming back and forth all the time. So to be his own man, they needed to like kind of cut that. But I mean, they would have done a new Robin eventually. But yeah, so I guess at the time they gave him a choice, and Jerry Conway said, "Yeah, I'll create." He created that original version of Jason, the circus acrobat.
Red hair, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, because I think he was very early. Because I don't know if Conway was even writing it by the time Dick gives him the suit. So I think he was writing Jason, before he even got that official Robin suit.
Yeah, he might have been. Well, because they introduced Jason before Dick transitions.
Yeah, it was like what, like at least a year before Dick actually hands him the suit.
Yeah, maybe not quite.
I think it was like 350 something, and then it was like what 368 that he gets the suit.
Yeah, I think Jason first popped up in Detective 526, but it's Batman 368 where he gets the suit, so I'm not sure what the relationship is between those two.
All right, well, we're talking about Dick Grayson. Sorry, I got us off track.
So he's giving us fascinating Robin facts.
Yep.
And we see kids at school are being jerks.
Oh yeah.
Dick beats them up.
I mean, yeah. Maybe it's time he went back to the freak show. And then he kicks their butts.
Yep.
But then he's at the principal's office. We have strict rules in place to to prevent bullying. And Dick's like, but they were bullying me. And the principal's like, then explain how you barely have a scratch on you, and the other boys are lucky to not be in the hospital. So the principal,
which is true, they did.
Oh yeah. Then the principal wants to have a word with Alfred alone.
Yeah.
Who says, I'm disappointed that Mr. Wayne did not come today. And Alfred said he's busy, and the principal's like, well, if he's so busy, why did he choose to take Richard in as his ward?
Yep.
And Alfred's like, they have a lot common.
Yeah, and as the principal points out, he's like, he came to school and he already had bandages on his face. It's like, yeah. But yeah, the way this Bruce is, he's not doing a great job on the father part.
And the principal's like, yeah, I'm just worried that Bruce Wayne adopted this kid, because it would look good in the tabloids. And Alfred's like, you're out of line. Mr. Wayne and I will deal with him and discipline him accordingly. And I suggest you stop reading the tabloids and worry more about keeping your students in line.
Which I feel like they both have a point.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yes, Alfred does have a point, but this principal definitely has a point as well. Like,
yeah,
it's a bad look, Bruce, that you adopt a kid and then you can't even show up to school.
So then they're in the car, and Dick's like, I'm sorry. And Alfred's like, well, they did start it. And then what? He gives him a new journal.
It's your birthday.
He's like, if you need somewhere to vent with Master Bruce, what Master Bruce did was wrong. You should never have invaded your privacy. But in his own way, he meant well. He was trying to connect to show you he cared, but he just has a very hard time with such things.
But yeah, I don't want you to have the same problem. You need to be yourself, not him.
Mm-hmm. Then they get home. Then they get home, and of course, Bruce is in the cave. He's like, you're late. And Alfred, he had an after-school activity. And Alfred's like, what's the rush? It's still light out anyway.
You haven't even had brother. And then Bruce is like, no dinner. Like, what if you guys are hungry?
Well, more than that, it was a birthday dinner for Dick. But yeah. Yeah.
But we find out that...
He says, we have somewhere else to go, not Gotham.
And then at least Bruce says, I'm sorry I read your journal. That's good.
Yeah. He says, he's like, I'm sorry I read it, but here, you're still ready for this. And he gives him the new suit. He says, get dressed. I have a birthday present for you. What do you mean? What is it? I'll explain on the way up.
And boom, there they are.
The old 22,300 miles above the earth. That's right. Justice League satellite. Yep. Yeah, Dick's like, this is so cool.
And then this is what kind of surprises. This is what, I mean, it was cool that he met the other sidekicks, but
yeah,
Robin's like, I thought you'd have better sense. I always thought that Robin was the first sidekick.
Yeah, again, I don't know what the continuity of this is. I mean, I'm assuming they're all taking the sidekicks around the same time, but I think Hawkman was more like, I didn't think you would take a kid's, I thought you wouldn't take a kid's sidekick.
Right. I can see that. And I imagine the others would bring their sidekicks up first. Wouldn't be as secretive about them, but
such a Bruce style joke. First he tells Hawkman, he's like, we're not going to be able to do this forever. We got to start training the next generation. And two, he's like, I thought you'd appreciate the bird theme.
Yep.
But yeah, then Bruce takes him into the room and to meet the rest of the league. See Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Arrow, Red Tornado, Martian Manhunter, Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, The Flash, Aquaman, Elongated Man, and Zatanna. Speaking of,
boom.
That's Superman. Oh, nice to meet you. Yes, sir.
And wait, who's the guy with Firestorm? Is that the guy with the flaming head?
Yeah, it's Firestorm.
That's funny. No shirt, no shoes, no mission. Although I think he has shoes on. Just saying.
I know. But yeah, Bruce says the rest of them are going out on a mission. Hawkman will be on monitor duty if you need anything. And then Wonder Woman says the others are waiting outside. Keep an eye on them for us, will you?
And Oliver, especially Roy, kid's got the devil in him, I swear. I mean, that's kind of accurate.
Well, look who's raising them too.
Oh, right, yes.
So yeah, so Dick walks in, yes, and this is first meets the Titans.
Yeah. At least Bruce isn't like, you have to be secret about your identity, because he's like, I'm Wally, Kid Flash, Robin, I mean Dick.
I know. And Roy, Dick, seriously?
Roy! What, Donna? I mean, come on. That's so Roy.
I know. So Dawn introduces herself, and she's like, that's Garth. And Roy's like, Roy, I'm bored. Let's follow the JLA and join their mission.
Wally's, we're not ready.
Yeah.
Roy's like, I'm ready to kick some ass.
But yeah, Wally says he's not sure if he can handle a full-on combat situation yet. He's still getting used to his powers.
Way to be extremely responsible, Wally. I'm proud of you.
Well, yeah, because his powers fluctuated over the years too, and there was even like a what was it? They did a flashier one for Wally, and it's like when he first got his powers, and like he was having troubles, and like Barry takes him to a well, it's Iris's father, but he's just like there's a different because Wally gets his powers the same exact way Barry does, chemicals and everything, and And they Iris's father's like, it's different for an adult to get that than like a child to get, so that's why his body's having so much trouble with it.
Well, I'm also wondering with these sidekicks if some of them are older than Dick in this continuity. Because I gotta say, Garth looks totally ripped in this. Like the one where he says, I'm gonna go swim. He's like has such broad shoulders and stuff. Like he definitely looks more teenager, young adult, and less child.
Yeah, well, you figure. Yeah, but he of course, I mean, that makes sense. Garth's going to be the most muscular because he's probably swimming most of the time,
I know, but it also kind of makes him look older. And I don't know if he's supposed to be older, but it kind of makes him look older.
I don't know if that's an Atlantean thing too, yeah.
Because everybody, I mean, I think when they kind of back in the Silver Age, Dick was one of the older ones, but then eventually it was just kind of like loosey-goosey and everybody's ages pretty much became the same. But anyway, Dick says, we don't have to follow the JLA
to go on a mission. And have Roy, I like what the new kid's saying. And then, yeah, Dick says, Kid Flash goes out there and checks the monitors at super speed so Hawkman doesn't see him. Find an emergency we can handle.
Gotta get to the teleporter. Like,
yep, gotta get past Hawkman. So they start crawling through the vents.
Hawkman's like, but then he goes back to whistling, or I don't know, playing music on his iPad or whatever pod. Phone.
Whistling.
And then Roy and Garth. Don't talk to her like that. Oh, does Fish Boy have a crush? Shut up, moron.
So yeah, so Dick's like, when we get down there, it's gonna be real. So they teleport down to Coast City. The Royal Flush Gang is trying to rob a bank.
Oh, is that who they are? It is? Okay.
Yep.
Coast City. So wait, is that who's Coast City? That's nobody's city, is it?
Green Lantern.
Oh, Green Lantern. Okay. I was like, Roy, no, he's from Star City. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's Green Lanterns. Yeah, so none of these sidekicks are from here again.
Okay. And then they go, and who's the next one with the robots? Do you know what place that is?
I don't know if that was supposed to be a version of Toyman, maybe? I'm not sure.
I was like, oh, okay, now they're busting up a robot. Okay, and then what is that? King Shark?
I think so, yeah.
On the boat.
So yes, they did look like they did like 3 missions, and then they sneak back into the satellite.
Yeah, they're crawling.
But Hawkman thinks he hears something, and he goes to check on him, and then they look like they've been sitting there the whole time.
We're just hanging out. He's like,
so yeah, Roy's like, welcome to the club, new kid.
Donna, I'm really glad you showed up today, Dick. You showed real leadership. It was great. He's like,
Yeah.
thanks.
That's when Bruce shows up. It's like, Robin, time to go.
Yeah, they're all like, bye.
And so they teleport back down to the cave. And Alfred, how was it? He's like, it was amazing.
He's like, I met Superman, I shook his hand, I met all the other sidekicks, and we hung out, and we think we're going to make a club or a team. And Hawkman is a total jerk, but not really. He's also kind of funny. And Kid Flash is super fast, and Wonder Girl is really cool. And, oh, I met Wonder Woman, too. It's like, you got to read that bubble super fast.
I know. And Alfred's like, sound like you had a
Alfred is so happy.
I know.
He's like, you had a wonderful birthday. He's like, I did. It was awesome. The best.
Yeah, and then Alfred's like, that was a nice thing you did, Master Bruce. And then he's like, wait, Bruce says, he's like, Master Bruce? And all Bruce says is, Robin, mission debrief. And Alfred's like, mission, what do you? And I said mission debrief. And Dick, yes, sir, of course.
And he goes through and points out all of the weaknesses of the other kids and how they can be defeated.
How they can take down all the Titans.
It's like, ouch.
And Bruce is just like, good boy. And Alfred's just like, how could you?
Bruce, he's a soldier, not some mascot like the others. Like,
if he is going to be in the company of demigods, he will need to know how to defeat. Oh yeah, Bruce already has his files on the Justice League. Mm-hmm. Just in case.
And Alfred, they're children like him. Why can't you just let him have that? And then this is where Bruce is messing up the most, and thankfully gets his head out of his ass by the end of the thing. Is he says, I never did. Why should he? And that is always, we talk about this all the time in academia because it's the worst reason. People are always like, we're like, do the students for their PhD exams really need to read 500 books? And people are like, I did. Why should they have to only read 400? And we're like, that's the stupidest reason. That's the absolute worst reason. I had to do something unpleasant, so everyone else has to as well. No, that's the worst. There's
so many situations in life where people are just like, oh, why should this person get this? I didn't got that. It's like,
well, yes, it happens a lot with unions. People are like, I don't get, 4 weeks vacation. Why should these unions get it? It's like, no, you should get it too. Maybe you should start a union and fight for something decent.
Exactly.
Yeah, so definitely Alfred's justified in saying, you bastard. Because, Bruce, that's the worst reason.
I mean, at least Bruce tells him he did a good job. He did good today, and tells him to get some sleep because he has school in the morning.
But yes, he does say you did good today.
That is messed up, but at least Bruce is giving him.
I know, but it's just like, I mean, it's funny because I feel like Bruce thinks of himself as very logical and, he's a detective and that kind of stuff. But that's a terrible reason. And he should know if he's, so logical that's not logical. That's a stupid reason.
But then, we see at the end.
Yes, he does at least give Dick the shoulder touch.
Exactly. But hey, we actually got a little bit of Croc this issue, because at the end he goes to the calculator for to help him figure out who Robin is. So I'm like, so this is a calculator know Batman and Robin are now? I'm like, come on.
Well, I'm wondering if he told him. I'm wondering if he didn't tell him I'm looking for Robin, or if he said I'm looking for the Flying Graysons kid.
Yeah.
It was like, I think that I met, whatever. He doesn't have to tell him. He says you didn't give me much to work with, and he's like, the Flying Graysons. Yeah, that was their name. John and Mary. Their kid was a boy.
That's true. We never mentioned Robin, so yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he just says, like, I want more info on the Flying Graysons, I guess.
Yeah. And he tells them, yes, he enrolled in Gotham Academy, so.
Yeah, but he says he's adopted last winter, couldn't access the records, so someone very powerful must not want me to.
12th birthday.
As we know, Batman/Bruce Wayne. But then he says, yeah, kid's got to go to school. And so Croc is going to get him at Gotham Academy. Yeah, because I think your thoughts. It seems to me that Although, like, Croc is more mad at him for being Dick Grayson than for being Robin, kind of.
I think so. I think it's more like, all you circus people treated me like crap.
Mm-hmm. It's like, that sucks, but Dick was like 5.
I know, exactly. So then issue 3 opens up with them, Batman and Robin fighting these guys and Dick's inner thoughts.
Yeah, well, you kind of see it's a couple different things. You see him, the little kid with his parents, being really happy, and you see Croc watching, being mad. And then Dick saying, if you let the darkness surround you, it's not so bad. I thought I'd lose myself. I wouldn't be able to see who I was. But if you let yourself go, you can find out who you really are. You'll never be afraid of the dark again. But this is kind of freaky because you're like, uh-oh, is it going to be dark and like Bruce?
But yeah, I love this fight in the sewer because Bruce is telling him again, don't be myopic. And, and Dick's like, I see the whole picture. Yeah, I do. But do you? Because just like that scene in the issue 1, man, he whips that batarang and hits the guy coming up behind Batman. But he still tells him, don't get cocky. Did you leave any unconscious? This one, he'll tell us.
Like, he broke my arm and your nose. Where's Croc?
Where is he? Where's Croc?
And yeah, he was a bit too intense about that.
Guy's like, well, none of us have seen him in weeks. Been waiting down here for him. He ain't showing. He's gone, man, I swear. And Dick's like ready to pound on him some more, and Bruce is like, that's enough.
So that's when you get freaked out. You're like, uh-oh, he's succumbing to the darkness.
But then the next morning, we see Alfred. I think I managed to get all the bloodstains out of your costume, Master Richard.
Your school clothes. And he's like, wait, school? What day is it?
Yeah, Monday morning. But yeah, he's like, he's talking about skipping school, and Alfred's like, I don't know. He's like, all this stuff can wait till after school. And he's like, don't you agree, Master Bruce? Oh, let him stay home if he wants. This is more important than whatever they're teaching him at Gotham Academy.
And this surprised me because this is the first time I think that I've ever seen in continuity a Bruce who's like really lax about school and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So that kind of surprised me. Almost every other time, Bruce is like super into you gotta go to school and like school's more important and it'll cover it's a good cover kind of thing. You can't be missing school all the time.
Yeah, because Alfred's even like, we're trying to look like a normal family here.
Yeah. And then Bruce, he's like, he's not normal. He never will be. He's special. Like, that's nice.
You can be special at school. And Alfred's like, next time you can wash the bloodstains out. So that's when Bruce is like, get ready for school.
Like, it's not fair. Nothing is. See, you're learning already. Like,
It's like no one's been Croc in weeks. Probably skipped town anyway. So yeah, Dick goes to school. But he's like, I'm second guessing everything lately.
Yeah, and he's like, maybe I should have gone something darker, more like his Nightwing. Maybe I can change it. But then it turns out it's good that Dick goes to school.
Well, yeah, he gets invited to play D&D.
Yeah. But then, of course, he's like, oh, I can't be drawing these things. Also, do you like how he says mullet math? I'm like not quite sure what the math is, but how the mullet is right above a sort of basic Nightwing symbol.
Yep.
No, I can't play. I was like, all right, just asking.
But then, as class is about to start, something happens. There's an announcement. Croc's got the principal. He's like, I know you're here, little Robin. Show yourself. If you run, if you hide, if you run, I start breaking people, starting with your principal.
Yep.
And if that don't work, maybe I tell everyone what your real name is. Little Robin.
And Dick's like, okay, I need a distraction. So it goes with, there's a bomb! And everyone's like, ah!
Yep, so.
And at least he thinks, okay, that was totally not cool, but...
Yeah, and he doesn't have a suit, so yeah, he runs and he ties a scarf around his face.
Yeah. But he did need to get everybody out of there, so, like, it did make sense. Well, then, yeah, he shows up.
Yeah, he shows up. It's like, it's me you want. And Croc's like, I recognize you anywhere. You have your father's eyes.
Same smug, arrogant, entitled look. Dang, that's harsh.
I was gonna say, I mean, I don't think John. He's talking about John Grayson. I don't think he ever seemed entitled, did he?
No, but maybe it feels different when you're the Croc man at the circus.
But that's when Batman shows up crashing through the window.
Yes, and he's like, those ribs fully healed? Didn't think so. Ouch. Yeah, so then he figures out, okay, Batman. He doesn't know who Batman is because he doesn't know who adopted Dick, but he's like, you're the adopted father. Now the kid can see two daddies smushed to bits.
But yeah,
maybe watch him die. He takes off with Batman.
Yep. So Dick runs home and he's like, Alfred's like, are you all right? If you're looking for Master Bruce, he already left. I know. He left, Alfred. He came to save me. I messed up. I was too weak to stop Croc, and he took Batman.
See, that's some Bruce talking there. Blaming yourself.
Yeah. So yeah, Dick's planning to go out, and Alfred's like, he wouldn't want you to do this yourself. He's like, if Croc has the upper hand, we should call Gordon or even the League. They will send someone with experience to deal with Croc. And Dick's like, no, this is my responsibility. I'm his partner. I can't fail him. And I can't lose him too. Not like them. Not again.
Aww.
And Dick's like, I can do this alone. He works alone, so can I. And Alfred's like, don't you see? He doesn't work alone. That's why he found you.
Aww. Well, but he kind of so far has been having a crap way of showing it.
I know. I'm sorry, Alfred. This is how it has to be. This is what Robin is.
But is it?
Exactly. But he goes back to the circus. He's like, this is the first time I've been back to the circus.
Now he says Bruce offered to buy it and demolish it, but he wants that little part to stay because it's home. Yeah, so
that's another weird change too. Because one, it was a traveling circus, and two, like we've seen stories where it's still going, and Dick eventually goes back. So,
well, I'm wondering if this is not so much.
If this is just the site where they died, yeah.
That's kind of how I was choosing to think of it. Is that this is the site where they?
Yeah, because he even says he's like Bruce has asked me if I want him to buy it and just demolish it.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, so he's looking around for Croc.
Like, he must have left when I was still really little. He remembered a fish man. He looked different. Yeah, he was much skinnier and smaller. Seems like Croc's been taking steroids since he left the circus. What are you saying? He was probably mistreated, but I only saw happiness.
Yeah, Dick's like, yeah, all he saw was the happiness while he suffered alone. Then he finds Bruce hanging upside down over a water tank.
Batman's like, no, this is what he wants.
And Dick's like, yeah, he broke the valve. I can't shut off the water, but I can pick the locks. And Bruce just saying, no, listen to me. You're a good boy, no matter what I've said, of how I've acted. I'm very proud of you. You don't have to do this. He's like, yeah, I do. I'm going to lose you too. And Bruce is like, he's coming. I won't be able to help you. Do you understand what I'm saying? I won't be able to help you this time.
He says, I won't be able to help you, son. Don't forget that, Phil.
I know.
Aww. Yes, because as you said, we didn't get the "oh" when he says, I'm very proud of you. You're a good boy. Yeah. Aww.
But Dick keeps saying, I'll get you out of there in a minute. And Bruce is like, you don't have a minute because Croc shows up.
Yeah, and he, like, I don't know, drops the lockpick. See, look how much more ripped Croc is. He's definitely been working out.
Yeah, well, I think in certain version too, he's like mutates further and further away from humans.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Croc grabs him and says, "Haha, stupid kid," and Dick elbows him in the face and says, "I'm not a kid."
All right, I'll hit you.
And he's like, "You want to be treated like a man? I'll hit you like one." So yeah, he says he had a whole plan. He was going to string Batman up higher, but see, Croc doesn't like heights. Much better down here in the muck. Bruce is just telling him, "Stop it, Waylon."
So yeah, basically he's taking all his anger out on the circus on the kid.
I know. Yeah, just keeps up. He puts him under the water. I guess he's going to suffocate him in the water. He's going to drown.
He's like, all the other superstars got the applause, and I got fish guts.
He's like, but Dick's thinking, yeah, the fighting, all of it's exhausting. Now I know, finally, it's easier once you give into it. If you just stop struggling and let the darkness surround you, you'll see it's not so bad after all. He starts hallucinating his parents, but then Croc pulls him up. He's like, not yet. I want you to see. Watch him go first. We'll watch together.
Well, and his parents say, open your eyes. And he sees there's where his pick is.
Yep.
This time he hits the pick in Croc's eyes.
Yep. It's like, last thing you'll see, he hits him in the eye. But yeah, Dick's like, this place is a part of me. It's what Bruce never had.
Well, he says, Alfred's right. I'll be Batman's partner, but I'm not Batman. I never will be, and I don't have to be. The darkness can pull you down, but if this place taught me anything, Robins are meant to fly. So then, yes, he goes aerial. I'm Robin. Knocks Croc unconscious.
And then he sees Bruce's head is underwater. He's like, come on, come on. He's picking the lock and gets him out.
Batman falls, and oh, yes! Hugs! Woohoo!
Oh no! Don't scream. He says, "It's okay. I'm okay. You did it, Robin. Good boy. You're a good boy."
Well, but that's multiple hugs. I just want to point out. First, you have Dick hugging Batman. Then you have Bruce hugging him back. Oh! And yes, what's he saying? Robin, good boy. You're a good boy. Now it's like extra long hug. It's like another hug because his hand's in a different place. This is an amazing hug. It's a 3-panel hug, Phil. 3 panels. Yes. And
then we see Dick has the guys over for to play D&D.
Yes. And it's a 20. Eat it, Archmage. Alfred comes in with more snacks. Let me see. Being afraid of the dark is kid stuff. And that's okay. It's okay to be afraid. If you let that fear in, it can show you things. You can actually find out who you really are.
I don't be the next. No, I was gonna say, he says, "Yeah, I don't need to be the next Batman. I could be something else, something better."
And the best part?
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to be alone. I don't have to be the dark. I can be the light. I can be Robin. Yay! So it ends awesomely. You find out, even though in the beginning you're kind of like, "Oh my God, is he gonna succumb to the darkness?" No.
Yes. So I take it you enjoyed this?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say like an A- because Bruce was a little bit more of a jerk than I was expecting.
Yeah, I know.
But I like to think that Bruce has grown from this and he will be less of a jerk going forward.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give it an A. Again, I didn't want Bruce to be such a jerk, but I just from the way he's been written over the years, I can see it, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, it does. Yeah, it does pretty much follow the trajectory that a lot of comics have been doing
Yeah.
with, I mean, I don't know why. I think just because of who the illustrator was. So that was kind of my fault. I was expecting it to be a little Gothamy, but when you think about it, I mean, it's pretty similar to like all the other,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, things that we've done. You know, the Robin Annual number 4, the Dark Victory, um, the Grim Fairy Tale story. I mean, even a little bit the Gauntlet.
Mm-hmm.
How it's like right at the end, it's Bruce is kind of riding him hard, and well, Robin year 1, it's kind of riding him hard and being a jerk, and then at the end, he's like, "Oh, you can do this, and I should be less of a jerk."
Exactly.
Because that's not what you respond, that's not what you respond well to. You're not me. You're a lighter person, and I should give you more positive reinforcement.
Exactly.
Plus, I can't help but figure that Bruce's parents must have given him positive reinforcement because he totally idolizes them, but I guess because they died when he was so young, he just doesn't.
Yeah, there was a lot of darkness between here and there.
Right. But I think you also kind of get the impression that even though I don't think, well, sometimes they portray Bruce's parents as like not as like a little less awesome
Yeah.
than other wings, but I think they pretty much always universally portray the Graysons as very positive and loving and like bright and happy. So even though Bruce's parents were not like, "We never tell you we love you," or anything like that, they were not as demonstrative as
Yeah.
the Graysons.
Agreed.
So yeah.
So yeah,
But,
A plus, or I was gonna say A plus, but A kid, at least an A kid. So yeah, go pick this up.
yeah, I mean the art is awesome. Dustin Nguyen is it's beautiful.
Yeah,
And
if you're a
yeah,
fan of.
yeah, I think maybe it's just that my expectations were slightly different, so it was a little darker than I was expecting. So that doesn't make it bad,
Yeah.
per se. But yeah, then it does kind of leave us with that like, what's up with Croc thing going on? Like, is he gonna
Dick kicked him in the head so hard.
is he gonna spill the beans?
Dick kicked in. Watch. Dick kicked him in the head so hard he has the amnesia.
There you go.
That's a comic. All right. So anything else?
No, that's everything.
All right. So for those of you listening to this on the podcast tomorrow, next 2 episodes we already recorded. So yeah, next week you will hear Nightwing the Target, which we recorded, and then in 2 weeks Nightwing the 80-page giant, and then in 3 weeks what you'll hear, the next thing we're recording will be Batman Nightwing 70, Chuck Dixon's last issue. It'll be the return of Hela, who you'll first see in the Nightwing 80-page giant, and the new issue, so Nightwing 88. So send your thoughts on that.
It's wild that we're already up to Nightwing 88. I guess because there was a while where he was coming out twice a month.
Yeah. I mean, when you think, I think he's been going since what, Rebirth? So that was like what, 2016. So I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, he had only 153. I mean, we're already over halfway in his. And didn't his thing go from like 1993 to 2009? I mean, that's.
I think it might have been like 95 or 96, but yeah. But yeah, we did get to, there was like a few months there where it was twice a month, the Rick Grayson, like, I don't know if Rick Grayson made it seem to go quicker because we were just like, okay, next.
Yeah, well, no, I think when they first started Rebirth, he was twice a month.
Oh, maybe.
I think they didn't slow it down till it was Rick Grayson, and they were like,
Yeah, they might have. I think they were doing Batman twice a month too. Yeah, I think there might have been a few they were doing twice a month. So, yeah, can't wait for Nightwing 100.
Yeah, it's gonna. I mean, yeah, it's coming pretty soon. I mean, like another like another year.
Oh, I've seen. I mean, there's rumors all over the internet because they were showing the Batgirl costume from the upcoming movie or whatever, and I think they were like, supposedly there's talks they're looking for a actor to play Dick Grayson, so
Wait, in her movie or in his
not in
own
her
movie?
movie, but I think just in general when they,
Wait, surely I thought that movie was supposed to come out this year. Surely they've
what
already figured that out.
what? Oh no, I don't think he's in the
Batgirl movie.
I don't think he's in the Batgirl movie. No, they just put up a picture of the suit. Yeah, no, they.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah,
got
no.
it.
Yeah, the suit in the movie, like it looks like that Batgirl Burnside suit.
The kind of purple one.
Yeah, where the top like looks like a jacket almost. Yeah. All right, so kids, send your thoughts on the new issue. Again, we're gonna wait a few extra days before we talk about the new issue, so you have time. Send your thoughts. Email us capesandlunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-capes. And remember, you can follow Nightwing News on Facebook, on Twitter. Go join the Nightwing fan group on Facebook. Find links to all the social medias for all the shows, links to this YouTube channel. Most importantly, if you can, please subscribe to the Patreon. We have not been adopted by a billionaire, so we're paying for this on our own. So please, any little contribution helps, but the $3 to $5 range gets you the exclusive content, creator interviews. Mr. DG Chichester is there with me and Lilith every month, and the superhero movie brackets are about to begin. From the sounds of it, Kristen is going to be joining us for at least that first episode. So,
Do what I can.
superstar. So, again, yes, if you can, please subscribe to the Patreon or pick yourself up some Capes and Lunatics or Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks merch. Everything I just mentioned is at Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. And pay attention. This is most important. Yes, go pick up Dick Grayon, Boy Wonder on Amazon. Again, fans of this show, you need this book. So talk of Dick Grayon through all the ages. Put together by genius. All right. All right, kids. Thank you for joining us. So remember, next week you'll hear Nightwing in the Target, followed by Nightwing 80-page Giant, and then in 3 weeks, the new issue, Nightwing 88, along with that, Nightwing 70 from back in the day. So, send your thoughts. And again, you can always send your thoughts on stuff we've already done. Send us your thoughts on Robin and Batman. We'll read them on a future episode. Was this Robin and Batman series the diggity dankest? Let us know.
It was pretty diggity dank, that's for sure.
All right. But it's that time again. So remember, join us next time. Same wing time.
Same wing channel.
The Nightwing News. And once again, remember, better than Batman.